Not once. I should have said, oh, so beautiful. So beautiful.
My family is filled with poetesses and poets of holy poetry and music.
These are the spiritual as much as physical voyages of the co-federation solar, sun, starship, planet Earth, restored to heaven on our and every earth, as our spiritual, genealogical, local, global, universal voyager and shared her and his family community enterprise. Our new millennial year's mission to rediscover and re-understand, sustain, and explore all and all are in fact familiar new worlds of family community, of the tree of love, life, and light throughout the solar system and universe, to restore, renew, and sustain our and new life and new sustainable civilizations, CAD, present, collectively, and now, rebellion, and future, always balancing, to loving, genealogically, and boldly become and be space-time travelers whenever and where we can, in dimensional reality, all in part being the former, if also never been before, in alternative space lines that are circles, which are of the universal EQ, IQ, and SQ continuum, balance, combinations of the ever-expanding circle which spirals and grows, budding and blooming in space-time. Love and live enlightened, ever young, long, and prosper all both in each and every one. Engage your heart, mind, soul, and body, for we all, both and each, both and all, can, must, and marvelously and miraculously make it so.
In the thunderous skies, she emerges, her eyes on fire, the mighty priestess. She is risen from the nativity of Calvary. She is risen from the fires of the earth. She is risen. She is risen.
We are risen.
She is risen. She is risen.
We are risen.
We all are risen.
Blessed be, blessed be, blessed be.
Om Mahalakshmi Rudrapriya Maharupa Mahapudya Mahapadaghanashini Mahamaya Mahasattva Mahashakti Maharati Mahadurga Maheshwarya Mahavidya Mahabala Mahabuddhi Mahasiddhi Mahayogeshwareshwari Mahatantra Mahamantra Mahayantra Mahasana Mahayagramadhya Bhairava-purita Maheshwara Mahakalpana Mahatandava-sajini Mahakaveshamatishi Mahatripura-sundari Chatushtashti-upacharanya Chatushtashti-karamayi Mahachatushtasthi-koti-yogini Ganasevita Celestial red. No. Once. I should have said.
I am carrying with me and intercessing for many poetesses and poets, and they are here with me. And I ask for them until they can act for themselves.
This day I call the heavens and the earths as witnesses intercessorily for and hopefully and prayerfully not against you, that I have set before you life and death, blessings and curses. Now choose love and life with light, so that you and your children may live. For I give you good doctrine, forsake ye not our new millennial law.
Okay. I said it was here. Maybe May sunflowers for obscurity and blackness. This is Anna Marie, singing Christmas, and I am Cherokee, Cheyenne, Blackfoot, and Anahuac, Dakota. And I am also a French, English, and German. That means we are all related. We embrace the new millennial golden rule as the law of all natives of the sacred ground that is Mother Earth, and all the planets of all the universes.
Welcome to our broadcast. We have a lot going on, and we're just going to do brief broadcast this evening because we have a lot to prepare for you. And hopefully we'll break you out of this horrible situation that has evolved on this planet Earth for very complicated reasons of our own embeddedness in interactive patriarchy. I myself was so embedded in patriarchy most of my life and did not know it. And that's the truth for most of the people on this planet. Patriarchy is an interactive system. And because people are not educated enough to recognize the anthropology of patriarchy and how it transmits itself generationally and also is maintained by a variety of institutions interactively with family and community. Humanity is like a bunch of blind men walking around and bumping into one another with the same error over and over and over again. The females are forgotten. They are marginalized and invisibilized, and they cope with this situation without recognition that their failure to protest and overturn it has profound implications for everyone. And also the men themselves doing this situation without recognizing that they are dominating over women create profound implications that over time cumulatively always produce disease, because disease is at least 97% caused by stress, and patriarchy induces profound stress in its, especially in its end stages, and also waste of human potential, enormous waste of females' abilities and genius, and younger peoples and minorities, because patriarchy is the foundation for all forms of prejudice. and cumulatively also produces not only waste, but war on nature and war on each other, war on ourselves, crime, abuse, and ultimately also war and potentially nuclear war that would annihilate the planet. It invites the intervention of the Mother, Father, Goddess, God in a variety of forms, because the Mother, Father, Goddess, God does not like to see their children suffering and producing their own suffering. So Mother, Father, Goddess, God intervenes with a variety of feedback mechanisms. But if human beings do not pay any attention to feedback mechanisms such as global warming of over 400 parts per million, carbon, huge methane clouds forming all over this part of the world and all over the ocean, the dying of plankton, the dying of bees, the melting of ice sheets in an unusual way, strange weather patterns, all of this feedback that has been given to humanity now for decades, and humanity is still not getting the message that all of this, and this is so clearly the case, would have been prevented by the full presence of women in government. Now the women are so punch drunk with their own conformity to a system that marginalizes them, that many women have become drone-like. They no longer function with the yin force that is given to them with estrogen. Estrogen grants people a little bit more attentiveness to nurturing, connection, and intuition of events and their interaction over time. When that is so beleaguered by society that the women are no longer doing it, such as in this North American United States, so-called United States, where there is no family leave. The only place in the world that is fully literate in a post-industrial, an industrial and post-industrial society that doesn't have substantive family leave. Then things are so out of balance that in a moment, catastrophe, an avalanche of catastrophe could happen. So that is why our website at 5050now.wordpress.com gives you the deliverance out of this terrible situation quickly. How you can bring the new millennial golden rule to your local, global, and universal neighborhood. All neighborhoods on this planet are easily connectable by the internet. They can let each other know what they're doing. They could all go quickly solar. They can all develop permaculture and organic and community gardening. They can all do what the Transition Town movement calls reskilling. They can stop rushing people off to work in gas-guzzling cars and give them time to know their neighbors as their own family, because everyone on this planet is no more than 50th cousina and cousin from everyone else. They can help people regain balance. You need the new millennial golden rule, so go read it. It's at 5050now.wordpress.com. You don't have to wait for any sham selections. You don't have to watch television. Turn the television off. The television is currently programmed and controlled by groups of sociopathic old men who have accumulated extreme monetary wealth, but have extremely low empathic and spiritual wealth. They are very, very poor people. It's hard to imagine a spiritual poverty worse than this. It does them no good for you to pretend what they are dishing out to you is normal. You are harming their souls by accepting it. And they, of course, are harming you not only in soul, but often in body and in mind. You are all interactively, like I say, blind people bumping into each other in the dark. That is patriarchy. Egalitarianism is the light. And in order to get to egalitarianism, we need a little time of reparation to the female. She has to come up a little bit more than 50%. That's why in Rwanda, in this aftermath of their genocide, their government has been ranging between 56 and 63% women. Because after a horrible experience, and this world is having a horrible experience, millions and billions of people are having a horrible experience. After such experience, there needs to be a tippage toward the estrogen in order to regain the balance and then move toward the perfection of true 50-50. We need, especially women and youth, and if you go to the 50-50 now.wordpress.com website and scroll down to the grassroots congresses, courts and assemblies, and scroll down a little bit within that menu to among the representatives, you, and you, you'll find my and every family, your family, represented by women and youth from every continent in the world. These people know about this website. These people know that I have already said that all of the poll data that indicates what women and youth want. They want solar energy. They want renewable energy. They want education without becoming indebted. They want health. They want surety of care if they become ill, and they want prevention so they don't become ill in the first place. All of this is clearly indicated in every poll of women and youth around the world, and especially minorities also are sensitized to the need for these things because they take the brunt first and foremost of the false hierarchy that is patriarchy. Patriarchy is the foundation of racial prejudice, classism, and birth orderism and nationalism. It sets one nation in its way of thinking above another and then causes the clashes between nations or within nations of different civil warring parties. We really can be beyond this. You have had a lot of inspiring work on the part of many people. There was Thomas More in I think it was the 1500s, who wrote, with the inspiration of Alice, Utopia. Now in 1776, January and February, Miriam Lambert and her husband, Thomas Lambert Paine, gave us Common Sense, a government that would have full complement of women, Indigenous was fully included, no slavery allowed, and no property requirement. But we didn't do that. We pretended what we did was democracy, but it wasn't at all. It created slavery. It created indentured servitude for much of the population because they could not get into government, and we have the same problem today. No access to government. The lobbies are there. The corporations are there. The people are out. We have given you divine democracy. It is not only democracy, which is a marvelous, miraculous, human interactive system, but it also allows each person to have apotheosis, that is, the divine within them, the female divine and the male divine, the fully risen goddess and godhood, to emerge in kindness, in wisdom, in intuitive practices, including science, that are based on a harmonic understanding of nature instead of an exploitive, primitive, aggressive, and short-term animalistic approach to nature. So these are the gifts. We ask you to look at the New Millennial Golden Rule and look and scroll down to the section, and I'll have a dream under the sermon section, and especially the among the representatives section under the grassroots congresses and courts and assemblies. And also scroll down and look at it at the section on infinite wealth toward the bottom of the page. And the Miriam Lambert and Tom Lambert Payne and Susan B. Anthony, and really we should also say Pocahontas and Sojourner Truth, and women's names of every heritage are listed there. Women's pictures are included in the consciousness currencies, as well as men who have advocated for egalitarian, true democracy. Look at the website. Come visit us. We'll see you soon. We love you.